Good morning. Good morning. It's 10 a.m. and I'd like to welcome everybody to the MEAC Digital Network for the 2026 MEAC Conference Biweekly Men's Basketball Coaches Video, proudly presented by TowneBank. I'm Lynn Thompson, and I'm glad to have you with us today as we're going to break down the action, spotlight the stars, dive into the stats, and track the storyline shaping MEAC men's basketball right now today. As always, we'll go coach to coach, recapping the key matchups from the past couple of weeks, and then look ahead to what's next. And after that, we'll open the floor to the media for a deeper dive with focused questions and insight. A quick reminder to all of you for today's session, media members are limited to one question per coach with additional opportunities provided as time will allow. To participate, you know the drill. Quickly raise your hand, use that feature, stay muted and until recognized. Please lower your hand once your question has been asked. And look, if your raise hand feature is not working, let's do it old school. Do it like this. Raise your hand and I'll see you. And if I don't see you, the staff will recognize you and let me know, and we'll get you on to get your question answered. Okay? Good. Let's talk basketball. You know, conference play is heating up. We were right in the middle of the heart of college basketball season, and the MEAC race is starting to take shape. Teams are grinding through the first half of the league slate and battling for position at the top of the heat. With about a month and a half to go, the chase for the regular season crown and prime seeding in the MEAC tournament is officially on. After the first 2 weeks of league play, there's a new team sitting on top. But make no mistake, several contenders are right there in striking distance. So today we'll recap everything that unfolded across the conference over the last couple of weeks and then turn our attention to this weekend when all 8 MEAC teams will hit the floor once again, battling for early positioning in the standings. So with that, it's time to take our spin around the league and to hear from our head coaches as they recap recent conference games and then look ahead to what's next as the 2026 MEAC season continues. Let's tip things off by heading to Baltimore, checking in with the Coppin State Eagles. Head coach Larry Stewart is standing by. I see you, Coach Stu. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good. I woke up, so all is good.
Yes, sir. You 1 for 1 today, right?
Absolutely. Undefeated so
that's
far.
that's right, Coach. You know, since we last checked in, the Eagles have lost 3 tough ones. I mean, 2 at home and 1 on the road. You lost to second place Central by 11, then a real one to tough South Carolina State team 74-72, and most recently another loss, a tough one on the road to the league leading UMES by 1 possession, 70-67. Now, while these losses are tough to stomach, Coach, there's got to be something good that you're finding because in the Central game you had a 17-point lead, and in the other two it boiled down to 1 possession. That was the difference, right?
Yeah, I mean, we felt good going into those games, especially coming off our first conference win against Delaware State, and but this is a very very tough league, home and away, and so you have to bring your A game for 40 minutes, and in that Central game, like you said, we had a 17-point lead, but it became a battle in the second half. We didn't bring our A game, and like try to stress to the team each and every day, it's always about those little things, and so when we look back at these last, 3 losses, tough games, if we clean up the little things, the result could have been, in our favor. But it didn't go in our way, and so we're just looking forward to getting the opportunity to go back out there and play this weekend, and hopefully be the better team at doing the little things.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that Central game because in that game you had some balanced scoring. I mean, Jamari Piercy had 19 points to lead you, but you had 5 players total in double figures. Kyle Horton, 15, Torrin Andrews, Hussein Williams, 13 each, and Chris Morgan with 10. Now Morgan had 7 boards, and you had a host of other guys with some stat lines that really looked good. If you can get that consistently, Coach, you're onto something, aren't you?
Yeah, we just, that's the issue, being consistent. It's a 40-minute game and not a 20-minute game. And so we got to get guys to be consistent in both halves on both ends of the floor. And so I didn't really think, we scored the ball really good in that game, but we just had some defensive mistakes at the wrong time. in that central game. Turnover here, a miss assignment here, and so it was more us than it was them. And so, we learned from that and tried to bounce back against South Carolina State, which was a much closer game. But again, it was those little things that cost us.
Okay, before we talk about South Carolina State, let's talk about this, Coach. Second half against Central. You only get to the line 2 times. You go 2 for 2. But Central went 19 for 23. And I know there's got to be something in that. I mean, you just couldn't you just couldn't make it happen in the paint or what? Because I know you're
Well,
attacking the rim.
I thought we settled, more. We stopped attacking like we did in the first half. Central became, a more aggressive team. They got into our kitchen, which, it's not a good thing. And we
Okay.
wasn't getting into their kitchen. And so that kind of changed the game. I think they went to the line 31 times in that game. They were the more aggressive team in the second half.
Okay. All right. So let's now turn our attention to South Carolina State because in a 26-second span in the closing minutes, you guys scored 7 of 8 points to turn a 71-65 deficit into a tie score with 10 seconds to go. But then the player of the year candidate, South Carolina State's Jaden Johnson, hits a floater with the clock dwindling down to win it, basically, Coach. That's a one possession game. You battled back, had a shot to win it. It just didn't fall for you. But Hassan Perkins, there he is, shows up again. 16 points, 4 3-pointers. Torrin Andrews, Kylie Horton, these guys, those names, 9 points. Those same names keep showing up for you. But you got to continue to do it with other folks in the cast performing as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We need everyone who steps on the floor to be, give us positive energy. And so again, that South Carolina State game was about, the little things. We missed the assignment late in that game, and so we were supposed to be in a little pressure. And one person didn't, complete the assignment, and you let the best player, player of the year candidate go down the floor with his strong hand and get off a shot. And so we were very disappointed in that because we felt that was on us.
Okay. All right, Coach. Now at UMES, hottest team in the league. You had a 32-22 advantage on the glass, but you turned the ball over 20 times, which led to 24 points off turnovers for the Hawks. That in itself is a difference in the ball game. You did cut the lead down. Nelson Lamazanik led you with 16 points. He's a freshman that we're going to hear a whole lot about, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. We just, he's a freshman, like you said. It's hard to get freshmen to be consistent in what they do. I try to tell them all the time, good players are consistent. Coaches know what they're going to get from you, and so we're just trying to get him to just be mentally locked in every minute of practice, every minute of the game, and when he is, good things to happen for him and also for us.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Hassan Perkins, um, he played a good game against his former team. So I'm sure he had added motivation. But all this just points back to one thing. MEAC basketball goes down to the final 1 or 2 possessions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, this is it's I think I heard this saying someone else say this is like eight dogs fighting for one bone. And so this is a fact. It always has and always will be a tough a conference to play in. You have to bring your A game for 40 minutes each and every night. You step between the lines. And so if you don't, you're liable to get beaten by anybody in the MEAC.
Yeah. Okay, Coach. Now looking ahead to this weekend before we go to the media, you head to Norfolk, looking to end this 3-game skid, and you're gonna go up against a Norfolk State team that really hasn't hit its traditional stride yet. What do you think about this ball game?
I think it's going to be a great, again, it's a great opportunity for us, because it's our next game. Norfolk is always Norfolk when they playing in Norfolk. And so, we most definitely can't turn the ball over 21 times. We most definitely can't be locked into the little things and missed assignments. And so, if we can do those things, I'm very confident in our guys that they feel good about themselves. They feel confident. And so we're looking forward to the challenge.
Okay, Coach, that's it for me. Let's go to the media now. Good morning to you, Charles Hallman, Minnesota Sportsman Recorder.
Good morning. Thank you very much. How you doing today, Coach?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about you?
Well, I'm trying to stay warm. what
Yeah,
we doing.
I
All
can
right.
imagine. I can imagine.
Just a real quick question. Uh, your player Nelson was mentioned among the top performers in the MEAC weekly bulletin this week. If you can speak a little bit on him. And also, you talked about you need to get better on the little things. What are some of the little things you feel that your team has to do to continue to compete and be successful in the league as it goes on?
Well, first I'll talk about Nelson. I mean, look, he's a very talented young man. He can do multiple things out on the court. It's just that he's a freshman, and so when you're dealing with freshmen, sometimes they don't quite understand it. He's still a little kid at times, and so we're just trying to grow him up, faster than he needs to be. But he has multiple skill sets. He can shoot the ball, he can get downhill, he can defend. And so we're just trying to get him to be consistent, and that start with practice. And so I think he may have seen the light with his performance in this last game and understanding how important he is to us, to this team, and how badly his teammates need him. And so hopefully this will be, kind of a wake-up call for him. And then, harping on it, how we get better, it's all about those little things, the turnovers in one game, 21, you're not beating no MEAC team with 21 turnovers. That's just not going to happen. Missed assignments, that's a little thing. If we're in where we're supposed to be in that South Carolina game, I don't know if he gets that shot off. We go into overtime, we could win that game. Understanding that you have to play 40 minutes, it's not just 20 minutes. We had a huge lead against Central in the first half, but blew it in the second. And so these are all the little things that you have to, understand and most definitely have to get better at if you're going to win in this conference.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Absolutely. Thank you. Stay warm.
I'm going to try.
Thanks for that, Charles. Ray Rogers, you're on. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Coach. How are you, man?
Oh man, I'm good. How about you?
I'm cool, even though not literally, but I'm just I'm staying cool, man. Watching these games, and I don't make no secret on here. I'm a UMES graduate, so we got to
Absolutely.
see Hassan Perkins last year, man. And I just want to know, do you feel like he gets more aggressive as the game goes on? As the game gets tighter, he seems like he does more penetration. Seems like he's looking for a shot. Can he be more assertive earlier in games because he's such a threat and he always gets his teammates involved? But I feel like it comes on kind of late. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we looking for him to be aggressive right from the start. We liking where he's at and what he's doing. I speak to him about that, and so there's some things that we're working on to try to, get him going a little bit earlier. I think sometimes, coming off the bench, he's trying to see the game first, and then as he sees the game and how the flow of the game is going, like you said, he's looking to get his teammates involved, and so. I think he's looking to do that first based off of coming off the bench and seeing who's got what going. And then he tries to, insert his skill set after that.
I appreciate it, Coach. Good luck.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that, Ray. I want to welcome to the show the legendary man who's making this transition from the court to the studio. Si Alexander's got a question for you. Good morning, Si.
Yeah, Coach Stewart, I'm here representing the HBCU All-Star
Yes, sir.
game that we've been involved with. This is going into our fifth year. And wanted to ask you a little bit about, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Favar Ari.
Yes. Yes.
Give me your thoughts on Mr. Ari, please.
Favorite, wow, his biggest thing is he's coming off a major knee surgery last year. And so he was at what, Bryant last year. He came out of DC. He's a DC kid. He went to Miami, out of high school. That didn't work.
University of Miami?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he went to the
Okay.
University of Miami coming out of high school. That didn't kind of work out for him. Then he went it over to Bryant last year, but he tore his knee up, and so he didn't play last year. And so coming into this year, when we got him, he was still kind of like rehabbing a little bit and still trying to get his knee back to some sort of way when he got scholarship to go to Miami. And so he's been working his way back through. But he has a tremendous skill set. I just think that he's not fully 100%. He can shoot the ball, he can rebound, can run the floor. Just a young man who has multiple skill sets.
Good. I've seen you guys play about 4 times this year, and I've seen Mr. Ari make a couple mid-range jump shots. In fact, I saw him make a three,
Yes,
and I didn't know if that's something he's capable of doing, but he has the inside outside package. He's like legitimately like 6'9", 6'8", somewhere in that range.
absolutely. He's a legit 6'9". Like he's inside outside game. Actually, he has a mid-range game too. Can handle the ball. I just think that coming off that knee surgery, and trying to rehab and trying to get ready for the start of this season kind of slowed him down a little bit. So he's getting healthier, each and every day. And so hopefully, with the crazy world of transfer portal, we can get him back here next year.
Oh, so he has another year of eligibility?
Yes, he has one more year left.
Okay, well, we need to take him off our list then because he was on our original watch list. So I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah, well, let me just, I believe when I was told he still has one more year to play.
I'll be back in touch, or Stacy Beckton will be back in touch to double check probably in February because we had him on. We had cut the list down, and he was in the cut down. He made the cut down, but if he's got a year of eligibility, then obviously he can't play in the game.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Si, for that. And Coach, thank you for joining us this morning. That concludes our questions. And we're going to let you get back to game prep for all of you. The Coppin State's going to be at Norfolk State. This is going to be this Saturday, 4:30 p.m. tip-off on ESPN+. Thanks so much, Coach. Let's head on over to Dover now. Our next interview is with the Delaware State head men's basketball coach, Stan Waterman, now in his 5th season at the helm of the Hornets. Stan, how you doing this morning?
I'm well, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on this morning.
Good. Glad to see you, man. I know you're a little frustrated. The Hornets are winless, 0-4 in conference play, 4 tough losses. 3 out of the 4 are one-possession losses, man. You drop your first one, 53-51 to Coppin, followed by another heartbreaker at home to Norfolk, 66-64. Then you hit the road and struggle out the gate and never could start the engines in a big loss at Howard. But this past Saturday, you battled back from 18 down, but lose by 1 at home to Morgan, 80-79. I mean, a matter of 5 points, Stan, you could be 3-1. What's the answer? Have you broken down each? I know you've broken down each game. Have you figured out the answer yet?
No, we're still working, trying to figure out where we can get better and change the outcome of these games. You mentioned it already. We've had 3 losses by a total of 6 points, 5 points actually. That's less than a basket a game. So we're close. And a lot of little things. I think we got to clean up some things, make some free throws, a little bit better decision making. But I love Coach Larry's analogy of the MEAC, 8 dogs fighting for 1 bone. And that's what it is. That's what we talk about. I mean, minus the Howard game, that was an anomaly. And not to take anything away from them. They played really well, and we didn't quite show up for that one. But the other 3, I think, are real indicators of what MEAC basketball, last possession, each one of those games, last second shot. We got to figure out a way to come out on the other side.
Yeah. Statistically speaking, I mean, I looked at a lot of the stats. You got a minus 4.2 board differential. I mean, and that's a huge factor in winning or losing a game. Miles Webb is by far your best rebounder. Who else can you count on to deliver or to grab the wipe the glass clean in the clutch, which may be the answer to flipping the script in some of these games?
No question about it. Last season, we were finished like 19th in the country in terms of offensive rebound, and that was one of our strengths, really banging and beating the boards. And we struggled in that area this year. You mentioned Miles is our top rebounder right now. He's getting 6, close to 7 a game. Mwazabini Adamu, one of our big guys, a new guy in this year, had 9 in the last game. And hopefully that'd be a breakthrough for him, somebody with size and strength and really goes after it. But that's certainly an area that I think if we can improve in that, then we might be able to get a win or 2 here and there.
Yeah, and then when you look at Ponce James, I mean, he's doing his thing. He's averaging over 14 a game and leading you in minutes played. But no other Hornets are showing up in double figures in scoring. It's time for somebody else to contribute. I'm sure if I were in your locker room, you'd probably be saying the same things. We need some other folks to show up and scoring, rebounding, and make it tougher to stop the Hornets down the stretch if that happens, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you know it. I mean, obviously, it's pretty easy to focus right now if Ponce is the guy that's carrying the load, and he's done that early. And we've got some guys who have stepped up as of late, and now he's recognized and understand that he's got some support and kind of share that. And you know, he's doing a decent job, a better job of getting rid of the ball and setting the table for some other guys. Corey Perkins and Miles Webb has scored in some games, and we need one or two more guys to come to the party.
Coach, and you know, just take us into the huddle. Those one possession games, clock dwindling down. All you need is a stop or a bucket. I'm sure the excitement, the passion is there. Is it that kids are looking for? Oh my God, what's going to happen now? Or they're like, let's win it. What is it?
It's intense. I mean, you know, obviously it's intense, and we try to work on situations regularly in practice. And you touched on it, Len. In each one of those games, it's been the initial defense on that final possession has been good. We're getting beat with the putback in the second shot where we haven't done a really good job of securing the rebound and, you know, playing the possession all the way through. So hopefully we're learning from it, and there'll be some experiences we can draw on later. And like I said, come out on the other side.
Okay. This Saturday, you travel down to Durham to face the number 2 team in the league, North Carolina Central. What do you expect? Well, that's a hypothetical question, a rhetorical question, because you know what you're going to expect from LeVelle Moton and his Eagles. But what will it take to keep it close and to sneak out of Durham with the win?
Well, it's going to take some toughness. It's going to take some discipline. It's going to take some better decision making, and we got to be able to score the basketball. I mean, rebounding, you already talked about one of the areas that we struggled, and I know down at Central, Carvey, one of the best big guys I've seen in the league. He's pretty tough, can score it around the rim, and he rebounds well. So we got to hit the glass. We got to attack the glass. You know, LeVelle, they'll be prepared, and they'll execute and run their stuff. They got a young man down there that's shooting the ball and scoring it pretty well. So you know what to expect there. And then heading down to South Carolina State, and they're going to pressure you, and they're going to bring it for 40 minutes, and you got to be able to handle their pressure and execute and, again, make good decisions. So it'll be all encompassing, man. We got to be all in and be focused, weather permitting. I'm looking at that weather forecast, and that's scaring me a little bit getting down there for snow. And I know they don't get it a lot down there. I don't know how they'll handle it.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a strange thing, but stranger things could happen. You could come out of there with the sweep of a road trip, and that'll be great for the Hornets, wouldn't it?
That would be all we needed. I mean, the league, like we talked about the competitiveness in the league, and UMES is sitting at the top 4-0, but then you got 4 teams with 2 losses.
That's right.
If we can get down there and get a couple one at a time, then, you know, we can be right back in the mix.
All right, Coach, that's it for me. Let's go to the media now. First up, we're gonna recognize Ray Rogers from Urban Sports Team. Ray.
What's happening, Coach Waterman? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So, I mean, much has been made of these close losses. My question is, how do you feel about your team's execution late in those games? It's like once it gets down to that final minute, it's kind of helter-skelter. I'm like, they need to get a high percentage shot. They work too hard for this. But what is your thoughts, though?
Well, again, that's just it. Having guys with some experience who've been in those situations, guys who have been the guy, and you don't mind putting the ball in their hands. I think we've got a lot of guys who have been role players and not really been in that position. So it's new. I mean, Ponce has been there and Corey's been there, and we just got to get a little bit better at it. And like I said, make some better decisions down the stretch.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ray. Coach Alexander.
Good morning, Coach Waterman. I'm on the call representing the HBCU All-Star Game, and I wanted to get your opinion. I've seen you guys play it probably 3 times, maybe 3 or 4 times. Give me your opinion of Zion Bethea. He's on our watch list. Sometimes I've liked him, sometimes I haven't. So just give from a coach's perspective, you see him every day as a player and as a person. Give me your thoughts on Zion.
Yeah, sure. And that's perfect. I love him every day, but there's some days I've liked him and not liked him as well. Big, strong body, big guard that can really shoot the basketball. You know, coming from Pepperdine with a resume where he shot better than 40% from the 3-point line last year, and we were hoping that he would provide some of that perimeter prowess and shooting for us. And he's had a couple of games. He's had a few games, just like you said, where he's done just that, and then he's had some games where he struggled. So we're looking for more consistency from Zion, but he's a big time player with a big time physique, and has all the tools. We just need him to be a little bit more consistent for us.
Thank you, Coach, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for that, Coach. And Coach Waterman, thank you for joining us. That's it from the media. I know you got to get back to work, Coach. It's going to be a good business trip down south. Normally, you go down south and enjoy the weather, but you got to go down south and deal with weather this weekend, right?
That's right. And hopefully we'll bring a little sunshine down there and bring some back with us too.
That's right, Coach. Thanks so much, okay?
Thank you.
It's going to be Dale State at North Carolina Central, Saturday, January 24th. It's going to be a 4:30 p.m. tip-off on ESPN+. Let's head to the nation's capital right now, Washington, D.C., to have a chat with our head men's basketball coach for Howard University, Coach Kenneth Blakeney. Coach, good morning to you.
What's up, Len? How you doing, buddy?
Man, we're doing good up here. What about you? You good?
As long as we're winning, I'm always good.
I know, man. I know it. 12-8 overall. A lot of folks were surprised when the Bison dropped the first 2 games in conference play. I mean, it was a buzzer beater in Orangeburg, a 12-point loss at UMES, but then things changed. I mean, over the last week and a half, a double-digit win over Dale State at home, followed by one on the road at North Carolina Central, another one on the holiday, and now the Bison have won 3 straight. What was the difference, Coach?
Well, Len, I think one of the things that has been really good for us is we finally have our team together and healthy for the first time since November 2022. I haven't had our team complete and healthy since November 2022. So this is the first time we've had a chance to practice a little bit, get guys in better shape, get guys some continuity, and over our last 11 games, we're 8 out of 11. So we're trying to find some momentum, which we've had. And I like the fact that we have 5 out of our next 6 at home.
Ain't no place like home, is it?
No place like home.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, having said that, Monday, you had an MLK Day win over non-conference Morehouse. It was sort of like a payback game from last year. Is it that tough playing those type of games in the middle of conference play?
Yeah, that is exactly what it is, Len. It wasn't for us. It wasn't a payback game, and the game is, it's such a special day for Howard and Morehouse to get together and play this MLK Classic to honor the legacy of Dr. King, to have Morehouse, the university that he attended here on campus, and with the alums that they have here in DC, our place. It was really a special day, and I think we honored Dr. King the right way with a great game and the way we played. But in saying that, it is a challenging game, and for them, it's a game that probably means more to them, unfortunately, than it does to us. Not to me, but our guys don't really look at it the same way. And it makes for a dangerous game. And I thought, Coach Larry Dixon had his team very well prepared. They competed their ass off. They shot the ball really well. And they're a good team. And I'm looking forward to seeing how far they can go in their league. But I give them a lot of credit. But I gave our guys a lot of credit, too. They were resilient. It was a really tough day. I think our game Saturday down at Central took a lot out of our guys. And then traveling back at night and getting in after midnight was a quick turnaround for Monday. So I'm really proud of the way they handled Saturday and Monday. And we had a chance to get the day off on Tuesday, and we cranked it up this morning for our first practice back.
Let's talk about one player in particular, Coach, on that team who just switched uniforms, so to speak. Cedric Taylor. He played at Morehouse last year before transferring to you. He flirted in that game with a triple-double with 16 points, 13 boards, and 7 assists. He continues to play well for you, doesn't he?
He does, and he's such an amazing character kid, a young man of faith. He killed it in school. He's in our business school. I think he was like a 3.5, 3.6 this semester. Just such a wonderful, wonderful kid, and to see him now getting in better shape. He missed the first maybe 11 games or so of the season or 12 games, and finally getting himself in better shape, better rhythm, and having a little continuity with our guys. But he's playing so hard, and at 6'6", 6'7", and 230 pounds, he's, both inside and out, he's really versatile. But the thing I love about him is that his feel for the game is really high, and it's helping everybody on our team become a little bit more efficient.
Wow. Let's go back to Saturday in Durham, Coach. A lot on the line. Your graduate guard, Bryce Harris, shows up, 20 points, 13 boards. You had 4 Bison in double figures. You shot a blistering 66% in the second half that turned into a big W for you, Coach. Let's talk about that game.
Yeah, what in the college, that was one of the best college environments, man, that you could possibly have. And to their credit, the Central fans showed up and they showed out. I was expecting that, knowing that school was back in session, but also North Carolina is a place where basketball is really revered. So they get it, they understand it, and what a great environment for Saturday. And I thought, Coach LeVelle Moton had his guys really well prepared. They played amazingly hard, and they shot the ball really well. He's done an amazing job of getting his guys ready for conference play, and it was a challenging competition, and we were very, I think, poised throughout the whole game, Len, and we were able to kind of catch some momentum in the second half, and from there we were just able to close it out. But Central's really good. They shot the ball way better than I thought they would. But LeVelle also puts them in position with some of his great offensive sets to give those guys a chance to have a lot of success.
Okay, Coach, the 66%, you'll ball that up and take that with you everywhere you go, won't you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, this Saturday, now you got Howard coming over. I mean, you got Morgan coming to Howard this weekend in the Burr, 6 p.m. on ESPNU. Let's talk about that game before we go to the media.
Yeah, it's ESPNU 6 o'clock p.m. and Morgan's so close to DC. There's so many Morgan alums that are around the DMV, and it's such a short trip in. I know this place is going to be hopping. I hope the weather stays where everybody can really enjoy this game. Coach Broadus does such a terrific job, and I have so much respect for him as a coach and how he runs his program and he leads young men. They had a great game at Dell State. Watched that one. And they're very dangerous.
Yeah.
One of the things we didn't do a great job of, I think this weekend against Morehouse, was we weren't attentive to detail in transition defense. And that concerns me going into the Morgan game. They're running a little bit more. They're taking advantage of opportunities in transition and using the three-point line a little bit more. And if we're not in defensive stance and sprint pointing and talking and getting back in transition, this game makes me very nervous.
Okay. They won 3 out of the last 4 and 2-2 in league play, Coach. That sets up a great ball game for national television, and we wish you the best of luck. Let's go to the media now. Cy Alexander, you're on.
Good morning, Coach KB. Congrats on your year so far, brother. Got a chance to see you play probably 8 to 10 games this year, and been very, very impressed with your team. I'm here representing the HBCU All-Star Game, and obviously Bryce Harris is high on our list. Give me your thoughts on him as a player and a person.
Yeah, good to see you, Cy, and thank you for asking the question. I call Bryce the mayor of Howard. He graduated from the business school in undergrad. He's working towards a master's degree right now. He pledged the fraternity while he was playing. He is involved and engaged in so many campus activities and organizations that if he was to run for president of the Howard, he'd be a guy that could win it. And I always talk about he's for me the most influential recruit that we've gotten at Howard, because he embodies everything that is with our culture. So for me, he has been a person that has partnered me in a way that sometimes, a lot of times, I don't even have to do things in practice or do things in the huddle. He jumps right in and knows exactly what to say and what the right buttons to push. So having him, man, has been great. And then, he's one of the better players in the MEAC, and he's demonstrated that over the last couple of years. And I just think so much of the young man. He's versatile. He's inside and out. He's developing more of his perimeter skills, defending a little bit more better on the perimeter. But his motor, his toughness, his competitive spirit, and his willingness to win is definitely unquestioned.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Good luck this weekend, man.
Thank you so much, Si. Good to see you, bro.
Bye, babe.
All right, our next question comes from Charles Hallman, Minnesota spokesman recorder.
Morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing? Great to see you.
Thank you very much. A couple questions. Well, just can you talk about two players? OC, who I believe was named Player of the Week, and also Cedric Taylor. You talk about his play up to this point.
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. I'm so happy and proud of Ose. He's a young man that has battled some injuries over the last couple of years and, has been really resilient in his mindset. He's done so much to prepare and get ready for this season. And I'm just happy that he's kind of flourishing. He's, first and foremost, a big time defender. And he's a guy that for us can check 3 to 4 positions. And we try each and every game. It depends on our kind of strategy and what we're looking for to put him on either the best defender or sometimes on the point or best offensive player, or sometimes the point guard. He's really versatile in that way. And I think a lot of the things that he's been able to do on defense has translated to the offensive end. So he's creating some offense from getting into passing lanes, getting deflections, maybe defensive rebounding and pushing in transition. That has given him, I think, a lot of confidence because he's seeing the ball go in, but he's also making those opportunities and turning them into some really high percentage shots. And Cedric is, like I said, he's coming into his own right now. I think he's gotten himself in better shape. He is a guy that can really score the ball. And I don't think on the offensive end, honestly, it has all clicked with him. But when it clicks, I think it's going to ignite our basketball team and we'll be able to take another step. It was so good to see him get 13 rebounds on Saturday, but also have 7 assists. So he's the type of guy that can check every box. Would love to see him get to the free throw line a little bit more to try to increase his points per game, and also put teams in a little bit more of a compromising and challenging situation because he could put so much pressure with his size and athleticism getting downhill.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir. Great to see you. Stay warm.
I'm trying. Thank you very much.
All right, Coach, our next question comes from Ray Rogers. Ray.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Coach, good morning.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, real quick, last season, of course, Bryce was out, Marcus was banged up, but you had Blake Harper at the time. So how refreshing is it in those big moments, like when teams are trying to make runs, like in the Central game and the Morehouse game, it seemed like you could go to either Bryce or to Cedric to kind of get your team back on track. I know that hasn't feel good to have multiple options in those key moments.
Yeah, it's great to have a healthy team. And I think part of our strength is our versatility that we have, 4 guys that are averaging double figures or close to, other guys that are very confident scorers and can help us in a variety of ways. What I just continue to preach to our guys is, can we make the game easy for ourselves? And that is with, you know, understanding what each player does really well and putting them in position to have success. And, we talk about, I grew up playing baseball, so I always talk about baseball analogies and talk about hitting singles. Like, can we just make the easy, very fundamentally sound play? Like, we want to play boring, basic basketball. And from that, you can get a very exciting the way that the optics of it looks, exciting play, a brand of basketball. But we just talk about boring, basic basketball. Let's be fundamentally sound and help each other be really good. And that's also on the offensive end and defensive end. So it's great that we have, I think, multiple guys that can score. We have multiple guys that can be our leading scorer day in and day out. But I'm just waiting for it to all ignite. Because I think when it does, we have a chance to be really potent on that side of the ball as well.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, Coach, I think that's it for the media questions. We appreciate your time today. I know you got work to do getting ready for the big one on campus, national TV. It's going to be Howard hosting Morgan State Saturday, January 24th at 6 p.m. That's the tip-off. I'm sure everybody will be watching that one. Thanks so much, Coach. We'll see you on the next time, all right?
Thank you, Lynn.
All right, let's head over and fly to the shore where the Hawks are flying high. Let's have a chat with our head coach of the UMES Hawks, Cleo Hill. Good morning to you, Coach.
Good morning, Lynn. How's it going?
Man, we're doing good. I mean, there's got to be a wave of excitement on the shore with the Hawks flying atop the MEAC standings at 4-0. At this point in the season, we know it's early now, but it still has to feel great.
Oh, it does. The whole camp is excited.
Yeah.
The community in Princess Anne is excited. Faculty and staff who've just come back to campus. Our student body hasn't been back yet. They're trickling in now, but our sports teams have been back, and everybody's super excited.
I heard that your money is no good in town, man. I heard everybody want to buy you dinner and lunch. How do you manage the expectations, though, when the entire community is being swept up in the hoopla that they really haven't experienced in modern history on the shore like this? How do you manage the expectations of your team?
It sounds cliche, Lynn, but we're just trying to get better every day. And that's what we've been pounding on our guys. Just get better every single day, every single practice, every single film session, because there's still a lot of things that we need to improve on, a lot of things.
Okay, I understand that. Since we last saw you here, you run off 3 straight conference wins against Howard, Norfolk, and Coppin State. I mean, look, you've beaten 2 of the best teams in the league historically, including the defending champs on the road. Now, how is your team responding to the media? I mean, they all got social media, they got cell phones, they got Instagram, so they see all this. So how do they respond, and how do you keep them even keeled based on these early results?
Well, we don't want them to feel like they haven't done anything, because, like you said, it's been history making 4 games, 4-0. It hasn't been done since 73, 74. But at the same time, we make sure in practice, we point out things that we need to get better in. We make sure in film session that we point out certain things. And a lot of these guys are not really familiar with our league and how tough it is. So when they get in these games and see the intensity and the physicality, now they're listening. They can't relax on any team in this whole league because, like we've been saying so far on this call, like anybody on any given day can beat you up and beat you down. So that kind of keeps them grounded for the most part.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, everybody's taking note of your team, but everybody is also, I guess they're putting a pencil on the names of these guys. Dorian Staples, Joseph LaCandro, and Zion Obanla. Those guys paved the way in all the statistical categories of the Hawks. But there's more to the roster than just those 3 names, right?
To be honest with you, Lynn, our strength is our depth. That first group that we have, they have tons of problem with the second group. And players 11 through 14, I feel very comfortable playing them in any situation. So we're trying to get minutes for everybody because there's a lot of talent from players 9 through 14. But we just have not been able to get them all on the floor. So Zion and Dorian and Joseph, up front, those are pretty good players. but we have some players behind them that are very good as well.
Okay. Coach, last time we spoke, we talked about certain games that a coach will point to as measuring rods in programmatic growth. The Howard game was one. You passed that test, and you went and passed a bigger test at Norfolk State. How do you manage? We talked about expectations, but how do you manage emotions now, knowing that the Hawks are in this brand new position instead of being the hunter? Now you guys are the hunted.
Well, I'm not sure if I agree. I think we're still the hunters, Lynn. I think we're still hunting out there. Again, my coaching staff, they do a great job. Beckwith, Gendra, and Hurd, they do a great job in really pointing out things in film session and skill development that'll keep you grounded. Okay. Some of those film sessions are pretty intense. And so guys see their mistakes and see where they need to get better at. And that kind of keeps them on the ground. I know we're the Hawks trying to fly, but we got to stay on the ground because as a coaching staff, we see what's coming the next 5 games on the road. Like we see it. So we're keeping them grounded and they're responding. I think for the most part, I don't think I've ever had a team to work this hard day in and day out. I don't think I've ever in my coaching career had this. So that helps. That helps myself and my staff.
Okay. Let's open it up now. First question comes from Cy Alexander. Cy?
Good morning, Coach. First of all, let me say congrats, man, on a great start. I knew you had an opportunity to be pretty good, and we've talked through text. I saw your Georgia Tech game, and you lost by a missed free throw. And so I knew then you had a chance to be very good. So congratulations on your start. I know you got 3 tough ones coming up that could make or break how you end up. You come out of 7-0, 4-3. That's 2 different games. Yep. But tell me a little bit about Zion Obama. I'm here representing the HBCU All-Star game, and he's high on our list. He had 20 points. I think he's going to be the HBCU All-Star Player of the Week, National Player of the Week this week. It should come out today. Today's Wednesday. So tell me a little bit about Zion.
The pride of the CIAA. Zion, he's the pride of it. Came out of Claflin University.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Coach Breon does a great job with his team. I actually coached against him, and he did very well against a strong Winston-Salem State team that I had. So when he hit the portal, I was definitely looking and watching and waiting.
Good stuff, man. I appreciate you. Good luck this weekend, man.
Appreciate it, Si.
Okay.
All right, Coach. Next question comes from Charles Hallman from the Minnesota Spokesman Recorder.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Charles, good morning, man. Good morning.
I want to ask you if you can speak any more on Dorian Staples. He was mentioned among the top performers this week. Just how he's been playing, especially when you say you have so much depth and trying to make sure everybody gets minutes appropriately.
Yes, special kind of player for us. I'm not sure if we expected him to be able to play positions 3, 4, and 5. That came as a surprise. High IQ player, and really works at his craft right now. Like a lot of times he's first in the gym and last to leave. So we're definitely high on Dorian Staples.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Ray Rogers, you're up.
All right, Coach. Good morning.
Ray.
Hey, what's happening? So you once said before you took this job because it was intriguing as to the challenge with the lack of winning over the past, however many years it's been, and to be 4-0 for the first time in decades. Have you taken just a little time to kind of reflect and saying, you know what, this is why I took this job and it's going in the direction that I was hoping it would go in?
Well, it's difficult not to take a look at it. But I think what helps me is the President Anderson and VP Owens had the confidence to choose me over a lot of coaches that apply for the job. So I'm just wanting to make good on my promise to get things back to where they wanted it to be, because they're standing on business on their part. Like they have upgraded facilities. You'll be able to see it when you come through. All the locker rooms, the weight room, softball field, baseball field, and we're doing rev share as well. So, they put into the program, so we're trying to give them the best product that we can.
Absolutely. Long journey ahead, but hey,
Yeah.
we're excited over here. So
yeah, scary hours ahead. I'm gonna say that. Scary hours.
All right. Good luck, Coach, this week.
Appreciate it, Ray.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Ray. Coach, your final question this morning comes from Alec Branch. Good morning to you, Alec.
Good morning, guys. Alec Branch here from Delmarva now. I just wanted to ask, Coach, you talked about it earlier, how, the depth that you guys have. I guess, what advantages does that depth and balance that you guys have give you when it comes to, carrying you guys throughout the rest of the season? I looked at, you don't have like, one player, that's like standing out at, across all the, statistics. A lot of people, contributing and, touching in, here and there.
Right. It allows us to play a lot of different ways. It's a plus, but it's been challenging trying to find minutes for guys that are really, really talented on that bench. But during the course of a season, you're gonna have foul trouble. Knock on wood, you're gonna have injuries. Hopefully no suspensions. But it keeps everybody honest and continuing to work hard every day. But it has been a challenge for us to find minutes because, like I said before, players 9 through 14 they deserve to be out there. But my coaching staff and I said if we're not playing those players 9 through 14, we'll probably be pretty good. If we can stay with a 10, and most times we go between 9 and 11 deep. But it's been a challenge. But I'd rather have it than not. Let me say that also. I'd rather be able to look down the bench and say, okay, look, let's go with player X, Y, and Z, as opposed to looking down the bench and shaking my head. So it's been a challenge, but it's been good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Alec. And Coach, thank you for your time.
Appreciate it, man.
Got a couple of days where you got to hit the road going to Orangeburg. It's going to be Orangeburg, South Carolina, right?
I am not sure right now. The game is up in the air due to the weather. I'll probably know something definite by 12 o'clock, but it's
okay.
We're expecting 14 to 17, and I think down there they're at 17 to 21 expectations. So
wow,
we'll
isn't
see.
That crazy? That's all right. Well, it's still on the schedule as we speak, so we're going to call it like that. UMES at South Carolina State, Saturday the 24th, Orangeburg, 4:30 p.m. tip-off on ESPN Plus. Best of luck to you, Coach. We'll let you get back to work, okay?
Thanks a lot, man.
Take care. Take care. Let's go on over to Baltimore, where the Bears, Morgan State, are on the clock right now. Kevin Broadus is with us. Good morning to you, Coach.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm holding on to the rope.
Holding on to the rope, Coach. You got the Bears at 2-2 in the league. Winners out of 3 out of the last 4. Coach, on the MLK holiday, you had a huge win over Virginia Lynchburg that everybody was scoring in that basketball game, Coach. That was a good win for the program. Walter Peggs led the way, 17 of his game high 23 in the first half. Seems like this ball club is finding its rhythm. What do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's a big weekend for us. I hope so. That was like, you played a lot of guys in the game like that just to get some of those guys who never played their feet wet in the game like that. I mean, it's almost like practice, but, the matter at hand is league play more than anything. And we're getting there. I think we turned the corner a little bit, but this weekend is huge for us. We go to Howard and down to Norfolk. So it's going to be battle tested this weekend.
Yeah, let's go back a moment. Then on the 17th, league play. Peggs hit 29. The Bears held off a late rally from Dale State. Coach, you sneak out with a win, 80-79. You had contribution from Rob Lawson, 13 points in 25 minutes. Elijah Davis, Christian Meeks, those guys contributed. Meeks had 6 points, 7 rebounds. But here's the deal: you led by as many as 18 points. A furious Dale State comeback but not enough. You get out of there at 2-2. Coach, you're shooting the ball extremely well now. You shot 41% from the field and went 10 for 24 from deep. And you're doing well from the line as well. Talk about that game and how it could potentially set you up for building momentum for what's to come in league play.
Well, first of all, that was our first road win of the year. It was a blessing to see that happen. You start second guessing yourself when you're on the road and you can't win. But these guys are turning the corner. And one of the guys, it was kind of interesting, said, Coach, you got to let us go. Maybe that is the thing. Maybe I just need to let them go and play. But, in college and professionals, you got to have structure, and they don't understand that. These kids just want to go up and down. But you know what? They're scoring at a fast pace. I always tell them, the first 8 seconds is yours. And then after that, we got to figure it out after that with our system. So those guys are buying into that and playing pretty well in a sense. And I think what's happening is we're making a lot of times our defense, our offense, and we're getting it and going, and we're getting stops now instead of letting teams score all the time. So that's been a positive for us. So hopefully we can do that, at Howard and at Norfolk. But I tell you, that's a tough place to play up there at Del State. All the students, the band, everyone was there. And, our guys, they live for the moment. So hopefully, we can carry over with that.
Well, you're expecting the same type of treatment this Saturday. I guess Howard seems like everybody might be there for this one. That's a rivalry game, Coach. And how are you going to prepare for this one on national TV, ESPN? I know you got to take these games one at a time, but this is the one, isn't it?
Well, they're all tough. Everyone is the one,
Yeah.
I take a page out of Janice Berry's book. We're just trying to go 1-0. I tease Keisha Campbell about that all the time. I have to say, I like with that the South Carolina State motto on that. So, yeah, this game at Howard is big. It's big. It's for us just to stay in the thick of things. For us to try to get another road win. For this month, we've only played one home game in the league, and we got all road games. The next 3-4 games on the road. So it is what it is. No complaints. Yeah. We just got to make the best out of it. So hopefully our guys, they know I've been preaching it. I was preaching it before last night. We got a big week, but it starts Saturday.
Okay. All right, Coach. Well, hold on just for a second. We got some questions coming from the media reps. First one comes from Cy Alexander. Cy.
Good morning, Coach Kev. How are you, man?
Good. Good morning. How are you? I'm good.
Doing good, man. I'm here representing the HBCU All-Star Game, and
I heard you doing the what do they call you doing the portal doing right now?
Yeah,
you picking your players right now.
Exactly.
I heard you.
I'm trying to stay one step ahead of the posse, man. I'm trying to win the game. You know what I'm saying?
The portal. You like the portal. You plugging now.
Quick question, Coach. Give me, and I see sometimes he gets a DNP and sometimes he plays, but obviously his size is exceptional in any league, especially in the MEAC. What's your thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent, on Dallas James?
Love him. Great kid. He's in his college career, he's only gotten 1 B. He's got all A's. As a player, one of the hardest workers we have. It's just tough when you're 7 feet, and I've coached a lot of them. Roy Hibbert, it's a bunch of them. I can go down the list. Sometimes, especially at this level, it's hard to play a guy like him that's playing 6'6", 6'7". They're so mobile, so the game goes so fast. And when you're 7 feet, you're not your agility is not the same as a 6'7", 6'8", 6'6" guy that he's playing against. Now, it's some games he's going to play and some games he may not play. It depends on matchups. And he has to exploit them when he does play. And sometimes, he gets exploited for being big. But one of the greatest human beings you'll ever meet. You probably know him from being down in South Carolina State. great individual, come from great stock, dad, good people, played in the NBA. I mean, good. It's no bad. You said good, bad, and indifferent. It's good and indifferent with him. No bad.
Thank you, man. Good luck on your next game and the next few games on the road, brother.
So you tell everybody that good luck. So who are you when you say good luck? Everybody needs luck, but you need blessings too. So who you really with the good luck?
I tell you what, I bless whoever wins.
I thought you were supposed to bless your
lean on the shield, Coach Broadus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought you were supposed to,
Well, I got you.
Lean on the shield.
Hey,
Lean on the shield.
I'm gonna be down your way tomorrow. I gotta go to a funeral. One of my aunts in Winston-Salem tomorrow. It's a crazy week for me, but I'm gonna be down your way if you're down in Greensboro.
No, I'm actually in Nashville now, Kevin.
That's right. Yeah, Perry told me that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Good luck, brother.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ty. Charles Hallman from the Minnesota Sportsman Recorder. Charles.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Can't complain. First of all, condolences to you and your family and what you have to do. Can you speak a little bit more on Peggs Jr.? He was mentioned among the top performers this week, just how he's been doing for your team, where you see him need to get better if that needs to be done, and your team progress.
Well, this is a long time coming. We've been waiting on this because he practices hard. I mean, he's a good player. But see, a lot of people, don't understand when you come to the MEAC, a lot of guys come here thinking they're going to be able to just do whatever they want to do. The MEAC's a tough, grinded out, and don't take this word wrong, grimy league. You have to be grimy to play in this league. And he had to learn the hard way, the toughness part of playing in this league. People look at it and say, oh, it's just me. I'm going to go there and I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Oh, no. Because these guys in this league are very hungry, and he's learning that daily, especially against guys he's practicing against. But he's gone against some good guys this season, so he's learning. But it's been a long time coming.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for that, Charles. Coach, your final question comes from Ray Rogers. Ray.
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
I want to talk real quick, or ask, I should say, about the health of your team. You've been bitten by the injury bug just as much as every other team the last several seasons. Where do you feel like you are now? Because I feel like that played a role in losing that big lead at Delaware State. You're just not fully healthy right now. So how you feel about that, and how you get the team where you want it to be, hopefully, come closer to March?
I mean, I feel terrible about it, but I've been doing this 37 years. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, next man up. Nobody feels sorry for you. I mean, the other team is happy that you have injuries and going through whatever you're going through. But our guys have been, starting to step up. It's the next man up. And you know what? You can't second guess and wonder why and this, that, and the other. Injury's going to happen. We got one guy out for the year. We got 3 or 4 guys out right now, but who cares? Who cares?
All right. Thanks, Coach.
We're just fighting the fight, fighting the good fight.
Appreciate that. Appreciate
it.
All right, Coach. Thanks, Ray. Coach, we're going to let you get out of here.
Appreciate you.
The best of luck in your travels, and much love to your family. And we'll be watching, Coach. It's going to be Morgan at Howard. It's going to be Saturday, the 24th, 6 p.m. tip-off on ESPNU. Take care, Coach.
Thank you. Everyone have a good week.
All right. Let's go on over to Norfolk State. I see Coach Rob there. Our next interview is with Norfolk State's head men's basketball coach, Robert Jones. Good morning to you, Coach Rob.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Good. How the Spartans doing?
No, we're doing all right. Could be always just like anybody else, could be better, but we're all right.
I'll tell you what, since we last talked, Coach, we recognize that you dropped the conference opener for the first time in many, many years. But since then, you won 3 out of the last 4 games. Close one at Dale State, you won. You lost a rare home game. Close one to UMES. Then went to Orangeburg, and you beat the Bulldogs by 7. In that game, Anthony McComb, the third pace Norfolk, with team high 19 points. He had 14 or 15 free throw attempts. And then you had 4 other Spartans in double figures, Coach. You look like the Temptations coming out of there. Everybody was singing and performing well, Coach. And tell you what, you talked about last week, last time we were here, you were saying that everybody was looking at y'all a little strange, what's going on, but it seems like the Spartan Legion is on the ship and sailing strongly now.
Well, the Spartan Legion would be the band, Lynn. So I don't know if we're gonna say the Spartan Legion, but that's the band, Lynn. But yeah, we have won 3 out of the last 4. So we're moving in the right direction. And it's that time of the season to move in the right direction. Like I said before, we break up our season in the thirds. We did better in the second third of the season than we did in the first third, and hopefully now the third of the season we'll do even better than we did all year. So that's the way we've always kind of broken up, and how to see if we are moving forward. And usually our third of the season is usually our best third. So hopefully it'll trend that way again this year. And the guys are moving in the right direction. So hopefully I'm excited about this last third of the season.
Okay, and this balance, Coach. I mean, your teams have always played tremendous defense, but this kind of balance is that what you think is the signature of this ball club? A lot of scoring balance around. Just when you look up, everybody's contributing in double figures and effort and the like.
Well, I think that the thing that's been going in our favor recently is that we tried at the beginning of the season to see who would be our 3 double-digit scorers, and we do have that. But in conference play, we actually have 4 double-digit scorers.
Right.
So that makes it a little tougher out in conference than maybe in the non-conference. Keontae Lewis has really come a long way, and he's really stepped up to be a double-figure scorer in conference play. So hopefully we can continue having 4 double-digit scorers. I think it makes it tougher for the defense to scout one guy or 2 guys when you got 4 guys who can score the ball. And then we have a couple, role players that around that 6 to 7 point margin. So we're offensively we're coming along a little bit, even though I know we have some decent defensive statistics. It's still not exactly up to our standards, so we want to keep working on our defense. But the offense just started coming along. Last game we scored 82. The game before that we scored 89. So it's coming along a little bit.
Okay, Coach. Two quick questions before we go to the media. The middle of the conference slate was a non-conference day on MLK on the holiday against Elizabeth City. So close. I guess it's like a historic rivalry game. And it was a tough one early, but then you opened up the cushion and cruised to a 27-point win. Although it keeps the momentum rolling, is there a danger in playing a game like that in the middle of the conference slate?
Well, we wanted to keep like you said, the momentum going, and we didn't want to take a full week off. So instead of scheduling like a team like I don't know, like earlier this year we played Regent University, like at a non-conference game just to fill a gap. Instead of playing a team like that, we wanted to play a team like Elizabeth City to kind of get a feel of like how a MEAC game would be, even though they're not quite there, but they're not too far off either. So we wanted to try to get a good game, and they gave us everything they could handle in the first half. It was a good first half, and then we had to have a spirited conversation at half to get our juices going a little bit, and we came back out and had a big second half.
Okay, all right. Now here we go. 21 games so far, Coach. I was doing a little research, and in these 21 games, you've only got 6 players that have been available and played in all of those 21 games. Availability, I guess, is going to be huge going down the stretch. And do you cut back on minutes in this second third of the season, or do you spread it around to increase production for the entire roster?
Well, we cut. I mean, that's a good question, but we actually just cut down a little bit on practice time just to so we could try to avoid some injuries and try to get some guys back healthy. Usually around this time we probably only go like an hour 30, hour 40. Previously we probably went 2 hours, 15 minutes, things like that. So like today would be like a 90-minute practice, maybe a 100-minute practice. So because we do have some guys banged up right now, honestly. Good thing I have a couple young assistants. They're gonna have to suit up today in practice. Like Keontae Chavis, he's going to have to come back and act like he's back in the MEAC days and when he played and things like that. So he's going to have to play today, and a couple other people going to have to play. So we got to do what we got to do to get past it. Like Coach Broadus said, no one's feeling sorry for you. If anything, they're happy that you got your problems. So you got to figure out how to combat the problems, and we got to have some of the coaches suit up today. So we'll figure it out.
Okay, Coppin State comes this Saturday, Coach. Coppin State has been the victim of some last possession losses it's going to be a challenge again, right? I mean, every game presents its new challenges. What's it going to take? Rebounding, shot making, or a composite of all of those factors?
Well, with Coppin State, like I told the coaches, we haven't talked to the team about them yet. Usually we don't start that till about two days before the game, which is tomorrow. So, but as coaches, we said that they might not have the greatest record, but like you said, they've been in a lot of 1 possession, 2 possession, 3 possession type games, which makes them dangerous. So we got to be ready to. And honestly, in conference play, the records go out the window anyway. So we gotta be ready to play, and it's going to be a tough challenge. And I'm sure they're going to come in here to Eccles and try to beat us. I know they haven't beat us in a long time in Eccles, and I'm sure they're aware of that, and we're aware of that too. So there's going to be a battle on Saturday.
Okay, Coach. Let's open it up for the media. Charles Hallman from the Minnesota Spokesman Recorder is first. Charles.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Charles?
Doing fine. If you could speak a little bit on Jenkins, who was mentioned among the top performers this week, and do you see him as a consistent person to be among those 4 scores, bigger scores that you was talking about earlier?
Well, yeah, Michael Jenkins, I mean, he should be running for, when it's all said and done, he should be in the mix for Rookie of the Year and all rookie team and things like that, because he's doing pretty good as a freshman. He would probably be like along that 5th scorer probably for us. I'm not quite sure if he's, in that top 4 yet, but he did have a great game at South Carolina State. So hopefully he can continue that coming up Saturday. He's one of the guys that's a little banged up right now, but he'll be available for Saturday. And he's playing well as a redshirt freshman. He went through a whole year of practice last year with a championship team, so he knows what it takes. And now this year he's on the floor to try to help us regain another championship.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Charles.
All right, Charles. Now Cy Alexander's up for you, Coach.
Good morning, Coach Rob. How are you?
Oh, my man, Cy. What's going on, Cy?
Doing fine, man. I just here representing the HBCU All-Star Game, and give me your thoughts on Devon Ellis. Tell me a little bit about him and as far as coaching him day in and day out, player and type of person he is.
Devon Ellis, we always say, is the enigma on our team, because it's like he should be probably the leading scorer on our team, honestly, with his ability. It's just, sometimes his motor is not always where it needs to be, but when his motor is where it needs to be, he's a tough out. He can drive it, he can post it, he can shoot it. He can do everything at 6'7" that you would want. He's actually super athletic, honestly.
Where did he transfer from?
From Valpo, but he played at UMES a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he transferred from Valpo to us though. So he's a kid that, like I said, probably should be our leading scorer, honestly. It's not taking nothing away from Anthony McCombs or Elijah Jameson and those guys like that. But it's just, you never know what you're going to get from him day to day. But skill-wise, I mean, he can do everything that you want, that for a stretch forward to be able to do. He can do it. So he's had some decent games recently. He's had some double-figure games recently. And we look forward to him to even turn it up a little bit more the third of the season.
Okay, well, good luck, man. I've seen you play a lot, and obviously I think you guys got a chance to be special moving down into February. Good luck, brother.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay, Coach, your final question of the day comes from Ray Rogers.
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning, man. What's up, Ray? How you?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you. So you just talked about how your offense is starting to come around, and I noticed in like a couple wins against South Carolina State and against Del State, you had more turnovers than you did assists. Is that something that you look at, or is it just, I want to get one more point than the other team? That's the most important aspect. Or do you want to make sure the ball is moving and you're getting your offense going like it's supposed to?
No, we definitely don't want to have more turnovers than assists, brother. But the thing that I say is, when you fully dissect games, every game is a little different, right? Like South Carolina State, we actually had a lot of one-on-one baskets because they're a little, probably they're bigger than us, and probably a tad bit slower than us. So we were able to beat guys off the dribble, just straight to the basket and things like that. So you don't get an assist that way, right? Like when you're able to just straight line drive it to the basket. So the one thing I do look at is not necessarily the assist to turnovers or turnovers assist or whatever, but I do look at how many turnovers we do have, right? So we have 15 against South Carolina State, And I'm not sure how much we against Dell at this point, but the thing that we try to do, like our magic number, we always say we want to try to get between that 10 and 11 range. Like if we get 10 and 11, we know we play pretty well. We know, I mean, no matter how much coaches, talk about not turning the ball over, you're not going to go through a game that is like 0 turnovers. Those are real rare games because an illegal screen can happen, a disc can happen, so it's like those things happen. But if we get our turnovers around that 10 range, then we know we played pretty well. So yeah, with us having 15 against South Carolina State, and I think we had a little bit more against Dell State, and that's not the number that we're aiming for by no means. I think we only had like 7 or 8 against Elizabeth City, so that's like what we strive for.
Yeah, 20 against Dell State. I got 9 against Elizabeth
City
State.
Like hotcakes, huh?
So yeah, that's just not typical for your teams. That's why I'm asking.
How the hell we win that game?
Thanks so much for that, Ray. Coach, thank you for your time. We'll let you get back to game prep. It's going to be Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Norfolk State will host Coppin State. That's in Eccles Hall on the campus of Norfolk State University. Make sure you tune into that very exciting basketball game. Let's turn our attention now to North Carolina Central. We're going to Durham to have a conversation with North Carolina Central's head coach, LeVelle Moton. Good morning to you, Coach.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, we're doing good, Coach, we haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks, but last time we did talk to you, you opened up conference play by winning the first couple of games by double digits. Then you dropped the last one at home to a Howard Bison team where they came in there, and it was a great ball game, great environment. Takeo Carpenter led the scores with 21 points. He got hot beyond the arc. Gage Lattimore was in foul trouble early. He scored 14. Corey Carvey, who continues to get everybody's attention, and Joe Slack both had double figures. But Coach, Central was out rebounded 43-31 in the loss. Let's talk about that game first.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. So many of these MEAC games, look, throw all the sexy stats out the way, right? And I heard Kevin mention early, he used synonym or adjectives. It's a grind. It's a grind, man. Right? So, we can go do all this prepping, but the reality is they know what we're going to do. We know what they're going to do. Yeah. And it boils down to 50-50 balls and who's going to own these backboards. And Howard came in and did an exceptional job of rebounding the basketball. And, anytime you lose a game, you get out rebounded by 12. In all likelihood, you're not going to win that game. That means they had 12 more opportunities than you. And, if you're going to look at it that way, then, it's just tough, right? And so we just got to be a little tougher. I got to do a better job of coaching it. We came in sweet a little bit, right? Okay. And so we got a lot of guys who have not won anything in their collegiate basketball career and haven't won in the MEAC, right? So it's a double-edged sword where, they got to make the adjustment. And whatever success we have, you got to put that behind you in 24 hours and move on to the next hungry opponent. But we didn't do a good job of rebounding the basketball, and that allowed them to shoot, I think, 60% in the second half, which is beyond outrageous because they was just shooting layup after layup.
Okay, Coach, let's talk about Corey Carvey because he continues to play well. 6'9" senior in 2 conference games. The last 2 snagged 11 boards, 3 steals, 3 blocks. And in the win over Morgan, he had 8 boards, 3 steals, a block, and 21 points. And he earned the conference's Defensive Player of the Week award. You talked about him last show when you said several games he was the best player on the floor. He continues to impress everybody in the league. And as you stand right now, Coach, you're a hand's reach out of first place at this point, but we haven't even gone through the league rotation once yet. What do you see as you prepare to go back through the league and really position yourself?
With Corey, he's really an incredible kid, right? I got to get more fire in him. This is a kid who came from Morehead State, and he only played 5 minutes a game, right? So he didn't have a lot of conversations with his coach because he was like the 11th or 12th man. So he go from 5 minutes a game to us playing him 35 minutes a game and demanding everything from him. That's a huge adjustment for him. So, that's been his daily challenge. Skill-wise, every time he touched the floor, he'll be the best on the floor, right? As we go through this conference, I strongly believe in that. But he also has to adjust to the griminess and the makeup and the physical presence that these guys in this league are going to display about it. They may not be as talented, but he's going to go up against some dogs who has a lot of personal pride and not going to just let you score on them and jump hook them to death and without putting, some elbow and things on you. So you got to get tough in that. And the main thing, he has to be more disciplined and stay out of foul trouble, right? The game, you mentioned the Howard game. The game started spiraling once he got his fourth foul early, in the second half. And, we had to make some adjustments. And, it's hard using him as your focal point. And then he's going out the game for an extended period of minutes. And now he got to readjust his rhythm to get back in. So that spirals. But, to answer your question, we understand, this marathon that we in with this MEAC. And, it's tough being a coach in this league because you never get to enjoy the victories because you're constantly worried about the next one, right? And it's tough to be a coach because when you lose, it feels like the whole world is watching and the whole world done caved in, right? So such is life as a coach, man. And you look at the next team and they face some similar challenges. So, we got a huge challenge ahead, coming up this weekend with Dale State, who's looking to get back on track. And, we understand that they're going to be in a matchup zone and things of that nature. So we're ready, man. We're down here preparing and we're just looking forward to the challenge.
Okay, Coach, now here we are. At this point in the season, what we found is you got 9 players in your rotation who are earning double-digit minutes. 4 of them play over 25 minutes a game. Is this the time where you begin to finalize your rotation, or does this happen organically through practice and situations like injuries and game planning?
It's kind of both, right? I always say by Martin Luther King Day, right?
That's my next question.
Yeah, it always sorts itself out for us. And, lo and behold, this week was Martin Luther King's day, and now we kind of got our rotation. We know who is who and what is what. If you ain't done nothing by Martin Luther King Day, then we probably can't depend on you. And if you've done a little bit, then we probably need you to do a little bit more, right? And if you've been doing a lot, we need you to do a lot more. So that's how we kind of look at it. And so it's kind of both worlds where it's the process of elimination, but it's the practice habits and it's the rituals that you showed us on a day-to-day basis that allows us to trust you to insert you into this rotation because, one possession, every game is pretty much a one possession game, right? And that's where the tides turn. So, we can't afford to insert anyone that we can't trust.
Coach, you hit on my question. Last year you did say that. You said you did not really know who your team was until after the King holiday. Well, it's come and gone now. And this Saturday is your first opportunity to really find out who and what your team is on the floor after that milestone date. Do you have any indication on what you're going to see?
Man, it's crazy. Hopefully we, with all this said, we'll insert a guy in there who we think, we can trust, and he probably won't have his best game. It's like the circles of life, man. I literally just got off the phone with Mike Tomlin before I got onto this call. Wow. And so that was one of the things that we always talk about. Like, man, like you just go with your heart and you go with your gut. But a lot of times, man, there's somebody sitting over here just waiting in the wings that still deserve a moment, or they're looking for their moment. And so it kind of disrupts things. But at the end of the day, man, you judge every man, and we judge every man by a consistent pattern of behaviors that he's showing us. And we had these guys, through the second semester of summer on up to now. So I think we right now got a strong rotation of 9, maybe possibly 10. We had some guys who had the flu and some injuries and things like that. But such is life with that. And probably we can just steal some minutes, right, and get these guys some rest because I do have guys out on the floor that's probably playing a little too extended minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure just like King, you got a dream that Saturday something's going to come to pass.
There you go.
Let's open up to the media. Charles Harmon from the Minnesota Spokesman Recorder. Charles.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Charles, how are you?
Doing fine. A couple of things. If you can speak a little bit more on Carney and also on Lattimore, who was also recognized this week as a top performer. And if anything that hasn't been said about Mike, the former Pittsburgh coach, that needs to be said, in your opinion?
With Corey and Gage, they're two good kids. They're really good. The one thing people don't talk about in this portal, in this NIL era is, as coaches, we don't have any protection or security around our programs, which means anyone and everyone that can be an agent can contact your kids, right? And so now it's become more of a challenge to even just keep your team's focused on the basketball floor, right? So when anyone has a level of success, if we go out and play with a high major team and that kid has 15 points, he got agents contacting him out the wazoo, right? So now it's hard to come back and be humble, which is the biggest characteristic and trait you got to have as a basketball player, right? Because now you're looking down the road of a potential payoff, $200,000-$300,000 or whatever it's going to be. Right. And so I got to get their minds back where it belongs. And that's been an extreme challenge. In the past, we had security and some parameters that, supported that. But right now, as low major coaches, we don't have that. And basically, mid majors and high major coaches recruit off our rosters. Let's just call it what it is. Right. And so, that's been a challenge. So I'm trying to make sure I have Gage's mindset, because I saw a brief shift in him. Right. And that was a challenge for us to we got to wheel you back in. And by doing that, we got to tell you the truth. Right. And so, Corey, if I don't know if he has one more year, but hell, he's been the best big man on the floor every game we play, even with Power 5. So it's people out there, trying to contact him to get him an extra year and so on and so forth. So these are the distractions that you go through. It's almost like running a elementary school, but the doors are open where anybody can come in, right? Like that don't even make sense, right? So I think the NCAA have to do a better job of just lending us that support and that security and putting those parameters up so we can coach our teams in good faith. And, lastly, about Mike, he's my brother, man. I can't thank him enough. He's probably, and I've said this so many times, he's probably one of the main reasons I was hired. And not only me, but, he ushered in a new wave of young Black coaches when he won that Super Bowl, because he popularized it for young Black coaches to be cool and given that opportunity. So when I was hired here, I was a guy who didn't have a long resume, but, I'm grateful North Carolina Central took an opportunity on me, and that was because he had just won the Super Bowl. So, we all know what he's been going through, and, he stepped down, and right before I got on this call, he called me, and I was just making sure he was okay. And one thing that he don't get enough credit for, and I just told him, I was like, man, you're a victim of your own success, right? Sometimes you can set the bar so high that, it's impossible to go over that, right? And so he's taken some teams, and just think, man, he's never had a losing season as a football coach, right? Just think about that, man. 19 years, this man never had a losing season. And, nowadays in this game, you need a premier quarterback, right? He had 10-win seasons with Justin Fields and agent Russell Wilson, right? And I love both of those guys, but when they went somewhere else, then they didn't win a game this year for their franchise, right? So just think about that, right? And so long as he's happy, he's enjoying his time with his family, and he's, he's the best, man. He's the best, and he's given so much back to Black coaches such as myself, and not only on the football side, but just the basketball side. And a huge part of that was because John Thompson, the late, great John Thompson, reached out to him when he first got the job, and John Chaney and Nolan Richardson and those guys. And those were guys that he admired for such a long time. And, he's a Newport News guy, so he was always in the DMV area, and he had followed Georgetown. So that meant a lot to him to kind of send the elevator back down and continue to pass the baton. So that's what he's done, man. And, right now he's just happy and living his life, man. So I love him. That's my brother for life.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Coach, one question left, and that's from Sir Alexander.
Hey, what's up, LeVelle? How's everything, my man?
What's going on, my man?
I love that jacket, man.
Thank you, man. It's my daughter. You know, it's the cheapest thing I got. You know, these teenage daughters cost right here. Y'all ain't tell me about these teenage girls. Like that's a whole nother.
I've been through that. So okay.
Oh my goodness, these teenage girls, they're case study. Y'all ain't tell me that. Y'all talking all this basketball. Y'all ain't give me none of the game on these little girls, man.
Man,
So,
that's a whole nother. That's a
whole
nother
nother.
World,
Good God Almighty.
But look, man, I'm not gonna hold you, but obviously I'm here representing the HBCU All-Star Game, and tell me a little bit about your thoughts on Jaden Slack.
Right, he's been around the block a time or two, man. You know, he was from Texas originally, and walked on at Northwestern State, and then had a couple of JUCOs, and went to a D2, and found some success there, and he's here. And the one thing I tried to stay on him about, and just everybody's side, as a former coach, man, with this portal thing and these kids, we have ushered in a wave of selfishness amongst kids, right? Nobody's buying into the name on the front of the jersey. Everybody's concerned with the name on the back of the jersey because the rules have regimented that, to say, go get your money. You go transfer when you want to, right? And so what gets lost in all that is buying into the team. So I've had to have conversations with them about that. Like, we ain't gonna treat this like a pit stop. We can't. I can't let you do it. This is my baby. I helped build this thing from the ground. I got blood, sweat, and tears here. But he's been a warm welcome for us. He's kind of solidified us as having that third.
Pretty good shooter, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty good shooter. We playing him at the 4, a lot of small ball. He's probably a power wing. He's a strong kid. So he's been doing a good job of that. Last game I got on him about his rebounding, right? Because, Howard out rebounded us by 12, and he left the game without a rebound, right? And what happens is once you start scoring the ball, you can get seduced into thinking I'm just worried about my numbers. Nah, man, be a basketball player, right? Because when you go on the next level, they're not going to ask you to specifically score basketball, right? If and when you get that opportunity, you're going to have to do a variety of things that makes you a good basketball player, not just rely on scoring this basketball. So him, like most kids, we're finding opportunities for them and trying to teach them how to play without the basketball in their hands, right?
And I heard you say something. I want to double check this. Is there any situation that Carvey could come back and have another year?
Like he did the JUCO thing one year. So you remember they went back and they gave some of those JUCO kids a year back. So he had a JUCO year at Brunswick with Walt Shaw. I don't know. So I don't know. Michael Jordan might come back to North Carolina. So I don't know the way
we got to really delve into that because obviously to play in our game, you can't have any.
Right. But I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he wants another year. To be honest, I think he's ready to go ahead and be in y'all game and pursue his professional career. To be honest with you.
Okay. We'll check it out and keep in touch on that deal or whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, good luck the rest of the way, my man.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Thanks for that side. Coach, thank you for your time today. We'll let you get back to spending money on that teenage dog.
I appreciate you, man. Y'all cash at me. All right, boss.
It's going to be North Carolina Central hosting Dell State Saturday the 24th. 4:30 tip-off on ESPN+. Let's wrap things up by heading to Orangeburg. I see him right there, Coach Erik Martin, the head coach of the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Hey, Coach, how you doing this morning?
How you doing, brother? Doing great.
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. As you're getting ready for Game 5 on the MEAC schedule, which may or may not happen according to the weather, man.
Yeah.
We're
ready to play whenever. I spoke with my AD today, and they're having meetings, and we'll be ready whenever the game they're going to throw the ball up.
That's good. That's good to hear because as we stand right now, we're set to tip it off at the regular scheduled time until further notice, Coach. But let's talk about the Bulldogs. The stats say the Bulldogs are a 500 club, Coach. Really up and down, 1-1 at home, 1-1 on the road. I mean, you open the season at home with a big win over Howard, then you hit the road and get a split with a loss to Morgan, followed up by a win at Coppin. Then last Saturday, Norfolk slips out of Orangeburg with a 7-point win. Let's talk about the road trip first. I mean, you open that up with a tough loss at Morgan, 72-67. You had the lead up until the 5-minute mark, Coach, but couldn't overcome giving up 20 points off of turnovers.
Yeah. So we had 19 turnovers. I think what was hurt more than that is we had 10 missed free throws. So if we ever play a game and have 19 turnovers and miss 10 free throws, we're going to lose that game 10 out of 10 times.
Okay.
And yeah, we had Morgan State down, I think maybe 9 or 10 once, and we just couldn't hold the lead. And the turnovers, they killed us. You can't turn the ball over like that on the road if you're trying to get a win.
Well, 2 nights later, you bounce back with a great win at Coppin as Jaden Johnson becomes Jaden Johnson again, scoring 18. Noah Treadwell, 19. And the Bulldogs held off Coppin State 74-72. Now, here's something amazing. You shot 51% from the field. You went 9 of 17 from deep, including 7 out of 10 in the second half. I mean, you led that game for 35 minutes, had a 12-point lead in the first half. You held on for the win. That sounds like Bulldog basketball right there.
It is. And us giving up leads at the end of the game, that's Bulldog basketball too, unfortunately. We're going to try and fix that. But, hey, man, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've heard every coach say it. Nobody's going to feel sorry about you when it comes to your injuries. But every day it's 1 or 2 kids who can't practice or can't play. And it's kind of like, hey, as I said the last time we had this, my first 3 years, I've been healthy. I've been relatively healthy. So I'm new to all this. When I saw Howard last year, I'm asking myself, damn, I wonder how coach deals with that. If it's different if maybe a role player is out. How you deal with it when one of your better players is out? And I'm learning that this year. You just gotta piece things together. But I try and sell my kids on, man, if someone's out, there's an opportunity for you to steal some of their minutes. So even when they get healthy, it's not like they're going to step back in. I play the guys who play. I'm an old school guy, and I used to be, and I blame Bob Huggins for this. I used to be one of those guys. If you don't practice, you're not going to play. It's time. I probably got to change up a little bit because some guys, I'd rather have what they have to give me in the game than to be wasting it at practice. So, as I said, this year has been a tough year, but, you learn. Yeah. I'm learning. Hell, I'm learning more this year than I did any year except for my first year.
Well, let's talk about what you learned when you came home with that road split, okay? You come back to Orangeburg knowing it's going to be a war between the Spartans and the Dogs, and that's what it was, Coach. 11 lead changes, 5 ties. It boiled down to free throw opportunities, and the Bulldogs go 18 for 22. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But Norfolk goes an amazing 37 for 47 from the line.
Yeah, I'm going to use a Stephen A word. That is totally egregious. I've never been a part of a game when the road team has shot 47 free throws. That is unheard of.
That doubles up the amount of opportunities. Yeah,
I can't believe that. Now, were we shooting more jump shots than them? Yes. Do we play aggressive? Yes. 47 free throws is totally outrageous. And I've reached out to whoever I need to reach out to. I doubt it matters, but I was just shocked. In saying that, you got to give Norfolk their props. When the game was close, they made plays. But I am not a fan of the road team shooting for. I haven't shot 47 free throws in my 4 years in the MEAC. Not at home or away. So, once again, that bothered me, but you got to give props to Rob and his team. They had to win that game or they go 1-3. So,
Coach, in that game, you get great contributions from Jaden Johnson again.
Yes, sir.
16 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. James Morrow, 15 points.
Yeah.
And freshman, Noah Treadwell, contributed 9. Let's talk more about this 6'5" guard who was named MEAC Rookie of the Week this week.
Yeah, Noah is one of the better shooters in the league, freshman or upperclassmen. And he only needs to see the ball go through. And when that first one goes through, I try to figure out plays. Hey, let's get it to him. I'm going to believe if you make the first shot, you get the next shot. You make the next shot, you keep getting shots until you miss or get tired. I try and simplify things as I go through this basketball. And I was fortunate enough to play pro basketball and had some really good coaches that are like, hey, man, you got a guy hitting. Why would you go away from him? For what reason would you go away from him? So whether it be Obi, Noah, Jaden, whenever my guards get hot, I tell those bigs, you're setting screens until he misses.
Okay. Well, let's go to the media right now. Here's Charles Harmon from Minnesota, where it's real cold.
Can you speak any more on Treadwell and how he's doing? And also, can you speak on Hodges' performances and also Johnson's performances? They were both noted this week as top performers and how they've been doing so far this year.
Yeah, when it comes to Jaden, he's our leader. He's our point guard and he's our best player. So we need to make sure that we limit his minutes and we don't want to wear him out. And as far as Noah, we played Mid-Atlantic last night. He did not play. He's banged up. Derwin has been just a pleasant surprise. He started out the year just struggling, but he has gotten considerably better. Last night he grabbed 13 rebounds, which is a career high for him. So I understand I got a lot of newcomers, but I've told them, fellas, we're 20 games in. Everyone should be a grade up. So if you're a freshman, sophomore wise, you should be sophomore when it comes to maturity and knowing what's going on in game planning. But once again, you got one guy in this day, the other guy. When I come to practice, the person I try to avoid the most is the trainer, because she's either smiling or she's walking toward me. If she's walking toward me, I know it's bad news, because if not, she wouldn't be walking toward me. So we're going to try and get healthy. And although I would like to play Maryland Eastern Shore on Saturday, to be honest, selfishly, if we can bump that game, that gives us a few more days to try and get healthy. We need it. We only had 7 scholarship players last night. So the little bit of time off would help us. But if not, we're going to lace them up with who we have, and we're going to get after it.
Good luck this weekend, Coach.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. Try and stay warm, brother.
Going to do so. Thank you.
Okay, next question is from a guy who understands. Cy Alexander.
Hey, Coach, what's up, man? How are you doing, my man?
Morning, legend. How you doing, sir?
Oh, man, I'm fine, man.
Good,
You too
good.
kind, brother. And look here, man, congrats on what you're doing. What was the score last night?
56-50.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We had Cam Clark, James Moreau, who made 5 threes, and Noah were all out. So
okay, cool.
It was the type of game that I expected us to blow out, but
right.
And those guys, they played well. They shot it well.
Okay.
Yeah, they shot it well.
I'm here representing the HBCU All-Star Game, and you've already mentioned his name. Tell me a little. I've seen you play probably 8 times this year. Give me your insight and your thoughts on Cam Clark.
I think he's one of the most talented guys I've had since I've been here. I don't think we get enough out of his talent. I don't think we get enough out of him, and I'm constantly on him that he needs to do more. I tell him all the time, if you're just talking about talent, just talent. He's more talented than Drayton Jones. Drayton Jones, yes, talent, just flat talent. Drayton Jones' work ethic is through the roof, which is why Drayton Jones is where he is and doing what he's doing. But talent, Cam could shoot it from 3. He can bring the ball up the court. He's an underrated passer. He's lengthy. He's got bounce. He can protect the rim. I'm sure he's tired of me getting on him, but I said, son, if you came here and didn't know how I was, shame on you. I ride my players hard. And most of those guys that are somewhere else now, if you ask them how was the experience, they'll say they had a good experience. They ask you, is Coach Martin, how you think of him as a coach? They'd be like, he's different. He can get loud every now and then, but isn't that we were all raised on hardcore coaches that held you accountable and made you not only a better basketball player, but a better person? So that's what I'm striving to be on a daily basis, just someone who holds them accountable, and I hold myself accountable as well.
Good stuff. Hey, quick question. He definitely is void of any eligibility after this season,
as far
correct?
as I know, yes.
Okay. Thanks, man. Good luck, and hope you guys play if you want to play, and don't play if you don't want to play.
Right. Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, bro. Take care, man.
All right.
Thanks, Si. Wrapping it up for you today, coaches are going to be Ray Rogers. Ray?
All right, Coach Martin, what's happening, man?
Sugar Ray, how you doing, brother?
Hey, listen, man, I'm doing pretty good, actually. I wanted to ask, you say you're an old school coach, so I'm going to assume that your guys watch film, especially in regards to like situational basketball. Like the end of that Coppin game, I was like, inbound the ball, get fouled, go make your free throws, close the game out. It was stressful. So I know how you might have felt, but are you guys watching film? How do you work on those situations?
Absolutely. If you saw the Howard game, you saw us lose an 8-point lead in about 30 seconds. So that next day we came in and watched that. We give our kids notebooks, and we tell them this is your notebook for the year. When we come to film, we'll tell them some things, and some guys write their own things down. Sometime in film, we'll say, write this down. You need to make your free throws. Write this down. With 30 seconds left, and we're up 8, we don't ever need to foul. We're playing against the clock. We're not playing against the other team. So I know they look like they haven't been Coach Ray, but they have, and we are constantly trying to finish games. And I think I said this, I can't remember one of the reporters. So our record is what our record is. So before we got into MEAC play, only games we've been a part of are blowouts and a 14-point win versus Bruton Parker. So we hadn't been in the position to finish games. And that showed up against Howard. It showed up against Coppin. Hell, it showed up against Morgan where we didn't finish them. So this is something that hopefully we figure this out real quick. As I've told my team, there are no blowouts in the MEAC. Every game home or away should be anywhere between a 2 and 8 point game. And it's been that way in every game we played in. So we need to get better. But to answer your question, yeah, I'm a big film guy. I believe when kids watch film by themselves, they're not as, they'll look and won't, hey man, you're not doing that right. And if you just watch it by yourself, I don't think you get that. So we encourage our kids to come in between classes, watch film, and try and get better. And we will get better. We will. I think my team still has the chance to win this league. It's just I need to convince them of that. I believe that. Fortunately, I don't get to put on the number 4 and Bulldog uniform and go out there and grab a rebound or two. So I'm just going to keep staying positive and keep telling our guys, we are the MEAC champs until someone dethrones us. So we are still MEAC champs, and until someone knocks us off that ledger, we're going to try and repeat what we did last year.
All right, Coach. Well, I see the progress for sure. I'm glad to hear that you're watching film, and yeah, of course, I just wanted it to be easier for you.
I appreciate it.
Especially in those games. So good luck.
Ray, if I still had hair like you, it'd either be gray or I'd be pulling it out. So I'm jealous of that hair you got, man. I wish I had some of that, just a little, man.
I was getting ready to pull it out during that Coppin game, man. Then I said, "Come on, guys, you know." But hey, you got the win, though. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Ray.
Thanks for that, Ray. And Coach, thank you for your time.
All right.
We'll be monitoring all the situations as they happen there. But as we stand right now, it's going to be UMES visiting South Carolina State this Saturday, the 24th in Orangeburg, 4 p.m. tip-off, weather permitting. Take care, Coach, and stay warm.
Right. Thank you.
Well, folks, that wraps up our week of the MEAC Biweekly Men's Basketball Media Conference presented by our great partners at TowneBank. Before we sign off, I just want to offer a sincere thank you to all of the coaches, the media members, and the staff who made today's video conference a success. We'd also like to extend our appreciation to the MEAC's corporate partners for their continued support of the conference and our Elite 8 member institutions. Just a reminder, the next MEAC Biweekly Media Conference for men's basketball is set for Wednesday, February the 4th at 10 a.m. For more information on MEAC men's basketball, football, and all MEAC sponsored sports, visit MEACsports.com and follow the MEAC on social media at MEAC Sports on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in today for the MEAC Biweekly Men's Basketball Coaches Video Conference, and enjoy a great week of hoops. Peace.